What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files, our 298th episode. We are closing in on 300, which, by the way, is Wednesday. We are going to have the hilarious, wonderful Missy Pyle to help us break down the show Sex Life on Netflix. And also, we're just going to be talking about sex, love, relationships, and marriage, divorce, infidelity, all that fun stuff, and getting Missy's hysterical take on all aspects of that stuff. If you haven't watched Sex/Life on Netflix, well, this is not an ad for it by any stretch, but it's certainly entertaining. It's silly and outrageous. Bit of a porno. It's like, I don't know, but watch it. And, you'll be like, I'm pretty sure our audience is into this kind of shit. All I'm saying is,
I'm sure you're right.
I don't feel like I'm asking you guys to watch something that you haven't watched already, but if you haven't, check it out. Ladies, what's going on? What's new?
Not much. Just hanging out.
Great. Super entertaining stuff.
I've been doing stand-up open mics.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
How's that going?
Going well so far. I've been mostly going to an all-female one, which is awesome because I feel like at all open mics that aren't exclusively female, there's always some dude talking about his dick. So it's been nice not having that.
Most male stand-ups talk about their dick?
Most amateur male stand-ups talk about their dick.
Gotcha. Because it's too small? Or is that a self-deprecating thing they lead with, or?
It's usually just it's honestly shocking to me, the number of men who at an open mic will say things they'll just make really sexual jokes, or sometimes they'll joke about stuff really unfunny, like sexual assault and stuff like that. It's just, it's shocking the type of shit people think is acceptable to say.
Oh, weird. How's the matchmaker business going?
Oh my God. It's good. It's good. It's definitely I think it's hard because I find that in the screenings, when I'm screening potential candidates, I think I can be pretty high energy. And so people will respond to that. But then on the dates, the feedback will be that they were a little bit more low energy. So I'm I might need to go into these screenings a little more stonewalled. See how they behave, I'm wondering if I'm giving them too much in the screenings.
But you haven't had no one's gotten married yet by your matching?
Not yet.
What about you, Allie?
I took myself on a couple dates this past weekend.
You did? What do you mean?
Times.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Great. Love that.
On Saturday, Kiki and I went on a little hike.
Kiki's your dog?
Yep. And then I bought myself a overpriced coffee that I told myself I deserved. And then on Sunday, I took myself to the beach.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I love individual dates. I think, especially guys, if you can feel lonely, just go to a nice restaurant, sit up at the bar, order yourself a drink, have a meal, a food, dress up, look nice, look like you're not lonely.
Or creepy.
No, just enjoy. Yeah. And just don't linger.
Don't linger.
But if you look like you are having a good time, people will come up to you and ask you why you're by yourself. And then don't get defensive. Be like, I don't know. Just be like, I don't know. Just I'm here to, I'm just hungry.
Are you allowed to be on your phone when you're out there? Or you're just supposed to stare around at
you
other
can be
people?
on your phone. And if the bartender asks you a question, get in a conversation.
Yeah.
I always get nervous and bring my computer. I'm doing work or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Listen, if you have a work to do, you want to go out, do that. But if I think it's a great way to, when I lived in Chicago, I used to do that all the time, especially when I moved there and I didn't know anyone.
Do you think that I would get asked out on a date if I sat at a bar editing your TikToks and waited for someone to approach me?
Yeah, probably. I also think this is probably advice I'd probably give more to men than women, just because.
Where am I supposed to sit?
Well, women can do it, but you're going to get harassed. Yeah.
I never went out by myself until I moved here. That's the first time I ever started going out by myself. To try and go meet people. I don't mind it, but I tend to bring something to do with me just in case.
Women,
I don't mind it.
Women get approached by men all the time, and sometimes women don't. It can get a little overwhelming. But I do think for guys, it's a great way to, people will come up to you. So whether you're a man or a woman, if you want to be approached by people, go have a dinner at a nice restaurant, a decent restaurant, sit at the bar and look look like you're enjoying yourself and actually enjoy yourself, and, you know, having a dessert, do the whole thing, get a cup of coffee afterwards.
Do you drink?
Have a drink, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Drinking
when you're
by yourself doesn't say like desperate.
No, don't. No, that is the trick.
Guzzle 6 martinis at the bar alone.
Don't project your. You know, it's interesting when I first moved to Chicago years ago. I get you. It's in when you give yourself permission, when you don't judge yourself, you become a lot more open to new experiences, right? And because you're not, like, for example, when I moved to Chicago, I didn't know anyone, so like. Well, having dinner by myself or walking into a bar after work alone and grabbing a drink, I was like, I have a story to tell if anyone asks. And that is, I just moved here. I don't know anyone, so I figured I'd go out. Now, that was a true story, but like it had more to do with the fact that I gave myself permission for this, right? So that when people did ask me, I didn't get weird and I didn't get defensive and I didn't get standoffish. I was just like, oh, no, I'm just like, I wanted to have a nice dinner tonight and just kind of felt like going out, and honestly I just didn't want to make a big production of it, so I just wanted a good meal of food. And I guarantee you every person who asks will be like, oh my god, I wish I could do that. How cool. Then you'll just be the independent, self-confident person everyone else wishes they could be, and they will like you for that. Don't be the neurotic defensive person and be like, why are you asking? It's not a big deal. Like, the whole trick is that you aren't feeling the need to explain yourself. You're like, this is normal. I do this. I'm having a good time. And whether you're a man or a woman, people will come up to you. And when they do, explain why you're enjoying yourself. Anyway. So great job, Allie.
Tip.
Thanks.
Don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K. We'll be back tomorrow recapping. Is it the finale? What is it? What? No,
it's the week before the finale. It'd be Hometowns.
We got the Bachelorette, and we have a lot coming up for you. So thanks for sticking with us. Tell your friends. Also, don't forget again to email these videos about like what you learned from our show. Email them to asknick@castmedia.com. Also, if you just want to post them and tag us on TikTok or social media, but specifically just be like, you know, why you listened to us and what you learned. If you want to tag us, that'd be great. If you just want to email it in or just DM us at Viall Files on Instagram, that'd probably be the best way. Just DM it to us on Instagram, Viall Files on Instagram, right? That's probably the easiest one. Anyways, we'd love to hear it. We'll probably end up sharing it on our social as well. Thank you so much. Let's get to our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Hi, Nick. I'm Shannon, 24 years old.
How can I help, Shannon?
So I made kind of a mess of things. The too long don't read version is that I was seeing a guy exclusively for 4 months, and I cheated on him with a guy in my friend group. And kind of my questions are, like, in the immediate future, I don't really know what to do with the guy that I slept with in my friend group. And in the farther future, like, I don't know how to trust myself when I did something so reckless and impulsive. And when I'm dating people in the future, kind of how they're going to want to trust me and introducing them to my friends. Like, I don't know how that'll work, knowing that I cheated on someone in the past with someone in my friend group.
Sure. What do you mean by you don't know how to trust yourself?
I guess I never thought I would ever cheat on someone because I always kind of like looked down on people who cheated, and I always said I was like a trustworthy person. And in the moment, in the situation I was in, it was kind of easy for me to like impulsively do whatever I wanted.
Okay. And when you cheated, how did you, like, what were your actions? Did you tell them? How did they find out? Did they find out?
Yes. So I told the guy I was seeing, I went and told him the next day, and I broke things off with him.
Okay, well, best possible response. So like, I just think you need to be careful about saying things like, oh, I don't know how to trust myself, because it's a really nice way of trying to let yourself off the hook. Because it sounds like, well, I wouldn't have cheated, but I don't know how to trust myself. So, poor me.
Yeah.
So like, listen,
makes sense.
you are human. You fucked up. We're all capable of cheating. I really, I know some people are going to be listening like, I would never cheat, and I've never cheated. But like, I do think we are human and vulnerable, and we have egos and insecurities, et cetera, et cetera. And we all make choices that can get ourselves in these kind of vulnerable, compromised situations. And in that moment, we can fuck up. It's possible. And now you've realized how possible that is. And I'm guessing you can like think about that night and the choices you made leading up to that night. It wasn't just the choice of cheating. It was probably several choices and things that you said yes to while you had a boyfriend that you shouldn't have said yes to that led to you making it really hard to say no in that final moment. So, right? So like, you know, as someone who's sincerely sorry about cheating, let's say we met a couple years from now and you're like, you do we're dating on our first date, and I'm like, so did you ever cheat on someone? And you're like, yes. I'd be bummed to hear that, for sure. My next question would be, how did they find out? And you'd say, I told them and broke up with them the next day.
Yeah.
That would, personally for me, give me a lot of confidence and security. Because while you might technically be a cheater, you're not necessarily a liar, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like what's worse than being cheated on is being lied to going behind your back, to knowing that someone might have like had sex with someone else and they would never have told you, and you go around living this kind of delusioned lie while other people might know the truth, and you're just thinking, I'm with someone who would never cheat on me, and in fact they have. And that's a really kind of horrible feeling to think. And when you do find out from someone else, you're constantly burdened with this idea like, I may have never known if this other person didn't tell on you. So, well, listen, it sucks that you did that, and you should feel guilty and you should feel bad about it. Like, there's no sense in beating yourself up about it. Wouldn't it be great if there were a pocket-sized guide that helped you sleep, focus, act, be better? Well, there is. And if you have 10 minutes, Headspace can change your life. That's right. With guided meditation, meditation is an excellent way to recenter yourself, recharge yourself, help you reduce stress, be more present, etc., etc. And again, Headspace is a great and convenient way to help you meditate more. If you're feeling overwhelmed, Headspace has a quick 3-minute SOS meditation for you that helps you kind of, help de-escalate the emotions you're feeling. If you maybe need help sleeping, Headspace has a nice wind down session. I use it all the time. It is absolutely fantastic. It's great with kids, especially kids get a little worked up. Everyone can benefit from a little wind down session. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. That is a big number. Headspace makes it easy for you to build life-changing meditation practices with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/VIALL. That's headspace.com/VIALL for a free 1-month trial. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/VIALL today. Hot take: your bank account should work for you, not against you. And that's where Chime comes in. Chime is an award-winning app and debit card with no hidden fees or monthly minimums. After all, you earned your money. You deserve to keep it. Fee-free overdraft on up to $200 in debit purchases with SpotMe. It's like overdraft protection, but better. Get your paycheck benefits, stimulus checks, and tax returns up to 2 days earlier with direct deposit. No hidden fees or monthly minimums. Turn on alerts to let you know when your card is being used and instantly block your card if something seems fishy. You can enroll in optional savings accounts and grow your savings automatically with 0.5% annual yield, 10 times the national average. Join the millions on Chime. Sign up takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Apply now at chime.com/VIALL. That is chime.com/VIALL. Chime is a financial technology company. Banking services provided by the Bank Corp or Stride Bank, N.A. Members FDIC. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Overdraft only applies to debit card purchases. Limits start at $20 and may be increased to up to $200 by Chime. Early direct deposit depends on payer. Out-of-network cash withdrawal fees apply. Third-party and cash deposit fees may apply. Go to chime.com/VIALL for more details. And you can trust yourself. Like, you're I hope you're right. Like, you recognize right and wrong. As soon as you did it, you realize you did something wrong. It doesn't excuse what you did, and the person you cheated on has a right to be mad and hurt. They have the right to hate you. They have a right to feel a lot of anger towards you, et cetera, et cetera. You should hold yourself accountable and be like, that was fucked up. And then you should think about those moments leading up to you cheating so that next time you're in a relationship, you like say no to some shit, you know?
Yeah.
And next time, you know, when you find yourself wanting to say yes to things you should say no to, make the call before you cheat, you know? I mean, would it have been that hard in that night that you hooked up with your friend to be like, this is going great, but I have a boyfriend, and what I do realize now is that I don't like my boyfriend enough to not want to fuck you. So can we table this so that I can do the right thing and break up with the person I said I'm exclusive with? Do that. And now all of a sudden you're not a cheater.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah. There were like, you're exactly right. There were like a million wrong decisions that went up to that happening. And I shouldn't have even gone home, because I went home with a friend thinking I would be sleeping on his couch. But like in the back of my mind,
you wanted to see what he looked like naked, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But my other problem is, I don't really know what to do with a friend who I slept with.
In what way? Do you like him?
I think I could. He's someone in our group I haven't even like interacted with a lot, because I was always very attracted to him, and he's older than me. He kind of intimidated me and made me nervous. And he also, him and my best girlfriend in the group kissed back in the fall. But nothing really happened between them after that. Okay. But they always talked a lot and got along. And I think a lot of us always thought like that he was into her. And even that night, we were all at karaoke together, and he was like, him and her were talking a lot throughout the night. Then her boyfriend ended up showing up, and they left together. And then like, I left with him. As soon as we got out of the bar, he was like, let me get this out of the way now. And he went to kiss me, and I said, I like dodged him, and I was like, oh no, I'm like exclusive with the guy I'm seeing.
So he knew you had a boyfriend.
Yeah, he knew. I told him. But then we walked like 4 miles back to his house, and we were like talking and like having a good time and goofing around. And like, obviously I was like reciprocating, hitting on him. He like asked if he could hold my hand, and I like let him hold hands with me.
So question, not that this in any way lets you off the hook, but he knew you had a boyfriend, and he was definitely trying to hook up with you, and then you were a willing participant.
Yeah. Okay. And that's like, I don't think any of it excuses me. Like, I was the one who was supposed to be protecting the trust of the guy I was with.
Correct. It doesn't excuse it at all, but I'm just focused on the question you asked about this guy, and like, should you like date a guy who in no way gave a shit about the fact that you had a boyfriend?
I know that's a no. That's a bad idea.
Well, we know how he feels about cheating. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said he felt bad the next day, but I guess that doesn't really matter, because
it sounds messy. There's just your quick story. It sounds like a lot of reasons not to pursue something you don't even know if he's into you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I think it might have been fun for him in the moment. And after I dodged his kiss, I like kind of made fun of him a little bit.
But time out. You're still going back to like thinking about his feelings. His feelings don't matter, because we've just decided not necessarily the best option for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You're right about that. So should I tell? Like, I feel like since it happened once, if we all go out again in the future, should I tell him ahead of time? Like, I know we hooked up, but it's not going to happen again?
Nah. I mean, if you're going to decide not to date him, and we agree that that's probably the right thing to do, then just give him a taste of his own medicine. And, you guys hooked up without any expectations. So there were no expectations. So you don't owe him anything. You don't need to you don't owe him an explanation. If he wants to ask, you can answer. You can indulge his questions. but there's a good chance he's not going to ask.
I don't think so.
So why do you need to bring it up? So you should just act like nothing happened because he's probably going to.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
and whatever you need to process is something you need to process for yourself, because we agreed that, you know, even if he likes you, even if he's desperate, even if he's like, I'm in love with you, there's a good chance it's still probably not your guy, you know. And because you get, you know, so, and then as far as, well, how do I address this going forward with people in the friend group? Like you said, like he's kind of, you know, he happens to be in the group that you're in, but you two aren't really that close of friends. And yeah, it's still like there's a lot you can learn from it. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Worry about that problem in the future if it is a problem then. Because like you might not be friends with this friend group when next time you are in a serious relationship. He might not be part of the group. Et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing you can do, and there's no point in worrying about a problem that doesn't exist yet. And what's more important is that you just recognize your mistake and I did. I regret it. I learned a lot of these things I should have said no to, I didn't. I'm not proud of it, but I did let them know the next day, and I know I don't deserve a medal for that, but I am not a liar. I will own up to my mistakes, and if nothing else, I hope that is a good sign. And listen, if I met someone who told a story like that, I could get, if I liked everything else about her, like I would be able to get over that.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Don't walk around like, oh, no one's ever gonna date me because I cheated on someone once. Like, you have plenty of options. So. Yeah, listen, we're all human. We are capable of making mistakes. It's possible. It's how we handle our mistakes and hold ourselves accountable that matter. And honestly, it seems like you're doing a pretty decent job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your help. It's been very helpful.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Stop worrying about what he's feeling. This new guy.
Okay, I will.
You're like,
I'll try my best.
Like, don't ask your questions. What do you think he means, or does it? Like, none of that.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Not my guy.
Thank you.
Is what you keep saying to yourself.
No. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you so much. You too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, as you guys know, we believe in taking care of yourself, living well, being well, and that goes in all aspects of your life. And it's always great when we find companies that make using high-quality products that are safe and responsible. And Grove Collaborative is a great online marketplace that delivers natural home, beauty, and personal care products directly to your door. Their aim is making living a healthy lifestyle easy and accessible for you and your family. As a dad, and I mean a dog owner of Jeff, I'm even that much more conscious of the products we use in our home, make sure they're safe. Great products like Mrs. Meyer's 7th Generation, Method, and Burt's Bees, as well as best-selling Grove-made products like Seedling tree-free paper towels and Grove's laundry detergent dispenser that cuts plastic waste by 80% and 100% recycled plastic trash bags. All in one marketplace at grove.co. With your first Grove order, you'll be set up with the free 60-day VIP trial, which includes unlimited free shipping, seasonal gifts, and early access to exclusive sales. With Grove, you don't need to shop multiple stores or search endlessly online to get all the natural goods you need for you and your family. Join over 2 million households who have trusted Grove Collaborative to make their home happier and healthier. Plus, shipping is fast and free on your first order. Making the switch to natural products has never been easier. For a limited time, when my listeners go to grove.co, that's grove.co/VIALL, you will get to choose a free gift with your first order of $30 or more. But you have to use our special code. That's right. Go to grove.co/VIALL to get your exclusive offer. That's grove.co/VIALL. How's it going?
Good. I'm Emily, and I'm 27.
How can I help, Emily?
So I recently gone through a breakup, I guess you can call it that.
What else would you consider calling it?
Well, we didn't make it clear, or he didn't. So I am left.
So you're ending a situationship, so to speak.
a very long situationship that, I mean, we did call each other boyfriend, girlfriend.
So then okay. It's always funny.
So,
I literally had yesterday on my questions with Nick, someone was like, we're not sleeping with other people, but he doesn't want to call me boyfriend and girlfriend.
yeah.
It's amazing how the wide range of these situationships can be. It's so in your situation was we call each other boyfriend and girlfriend, and then why was it unclear that you were a fully committed relationship then?
I call it a situationship now, looking back, and evaluating what went wrong, what went right, and like improving myself. But the fact that we basically got in an argument to establish our relationship is kind of
not a great sign.
Yeah, exactly. And then, it's been about almost 3 months now since we talked last. And we've had a couple like conversations, but they've been really short and about certain things, nothing about our relationship or the lack thereof. And so I went back, thinking through all of our conversations, because I've brought up a couple of times like things that I needed from him or needed us to do in our relationship. And thinking back, he basically did tell me, he's like, I'm not emotionally or mentally able to deal with this right now. And so thinking back to that point, I'm like, okay, so you broke up with me that day, but then yet we continued to talk and, hang out every so often for a whole month until I got fucking sick of it. So yeah, so I'm assuming, but he wasn't clear with, saying like, we're done. He just kept leading me on and I guess using me, which, lesson learned to not just stick with my guns and be done with it and just dragging it out longer and hurting myself more. Like my main question before I talked to him recently was, should I talk to him about what's heavy on my heart? Because I have been doing a lot of deep thinking and, working out, things that I did wrong in the relationship and what I could improve on, learning my attachment style and trying to figure out how to improve that and my overall insecurities and self-love, because I tend to throw that out the window like, a few months in.
So who are you doing this for?
Trying to talk to him?
No. Working on yourself, learning about attachment styles.
It's for me. Because I'm tired.
Then why are you even wondering why you should communicate this stuff with him?
True. Which is why I just want to throw it out the window. Like that's not something, after talking to him, that's not something that I want to do now, because it's like I see that it's pointless and that I'm better off working on myself more. And like if he wanted to work things out with me, he would have stayed with me and talked to me more in depth and like worked through my insecurities and gave me some security with that, having that in our relationship. He would have given me more security in that, but he didn't. So I just need to work on myself, because if I'm working on myself, and then I won't have to look at somebody else for that, I guess, security, like for that validation. Finding it myself first.
Yeah, listen, I empathize with you. You're going through a lot right now. I can even feel like you're hurt on the other side. You're angry at him. You feel very used. And like, just get this shit out. Like, it's okay. Just allow yourself to be angry. Like the only thing you just want to be careful of right now is to make excuses for him again while you're working on yourself. Like, be angry at him. That's great. Probably the first time you've really allowed yourself to just truly be like, what the fuck? Recognize that some of this anger is about yourself. You're angry at yourself for putting yourself in this position, allowing yourself to be used and feel used. Like you said, like you didn't even, you called each other boyfriend and girlfriend, but it sounds like you never felt fully confident in where you stood with him in this relationship ever.
That's actually very true. And I've thought about that too. Like, that's why I've kind of called this like a situationship, because I never fully knew where he was with me in the relationship.
So that, and that recognition right? Knowing that you've
Right.
never felt totally confident where you stood. There's a big part of that is on you. And I think you know that deep down because you're like, why did I stay in this thing and I never know where I stood? And part of that is probably because you were too afraid to, again, ask the questions because you were afraid of the answers, things like that, right? And it became a whole mess, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you are now allowing yourself to feel angry and feel anger towards him. And just be aware that you are processing some anger towards yourself. Do not make the mistake of confusing that with things that you could or should have done differently that would have ultimately saved this relationship.
Right. And I've had those thoughts, and then I stop, like, literally mid-thought. I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, it's not just you, or it's not, it's not all you. Relationships are, equal parts. It's not just one person.
How long were you with this guy for?
Too long.
But how long?
So we dated for about 6 months before we had the argument to make it a relationship. And then it was
next time,
right.
don't do that, right?
Right.
If you have to argue with someone to date you.
Well, no shit. But like, I didn't want to argue with it. I was basically.
I know you don't want to, but you did, and that's what it led to.
Okay. I will blame it on him. I felt like he started the argument because
That's not my point. It doesn't matter who started it.
Right.
I'm just saying that's what happened. Even if like you could have gone into this thing being like, oh, things are going great, and I'm just gonna, I listen to a podcast and it sounds like now's the right time to define a relationship, so I'm just gonna go define it, and of course he's gonna want to define it, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna do it, and then out of nowhere, he does, it creates a fight. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whose fault it was or what happened or what was said. The point is that, like, instead of being like, oh my God, yeah, things are going great and we still have a lot to learn about each other, but like, I definitely want to focus on you, and I don't want to date other people, and he fought with you. So like, that's your answer. And then like you, instead of like being like, whoa, I'm fighting over getting someone to commit to this relationship, that's my answer. Instead you were like, nope, well,
let's try this.
I came in this with all the reasons why I think we should date, so this is how I'm going to respond to you fighting.
Right.
Like, when you hear me say it out loud, it sounds insane, but in that moment,
but it's true.
It made a lot of sense to you to do that. So
right.
You just have to be mindful of it.
Like, in that situation, like, I was, and I've heard a couple times on other podcasts that I've listened to, I guess I should have also taken the initiative to address what we were or what we are or what he wanted it to be. But like, I was waiting for him to make that move, and I made it very clear. I know. I know.
I made it very clear that I was waiting is not doing anything.
Yeah, so I should have just walked away.
I mean, if you're dating a guy who doesn't want expectations on himself and likes the casualness of the relationship and a random hookups, saying that you're waiting for him is just being like, great, keep waiting. I guess probably not. That's not doing anything. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why women are so guilty of like, I told him he needs to make the first move. And you guys act like, you've really set some standards for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gave him permission to drag it out is what you did.
Yeah. And I definitely realize that now. And I'm thankful for this situationship because it's taught me so much, and it's also opened my eyes to so much. Not
what?
that I really
like what?
Well, just like how I just need to stand up for myself and, I guess lead by example. Like I don't really know.
Well, it's good to, it's okay. That's first one you said is great.
Yeah. But also, I guess, just working like through my emotions. And also the one thing I'm really guilty about is holding on to stuff instead of bringing it up and like addressing it.
Yeah.
So I wait I hold on to things hoping that like somebody will say something, and it's like, no, I just need to take initiative for my feelings and like bring them up instead of letting them harbor in myself and overthink like I always freaking do. So yeah.
I think you have some anger that you have to get out still. I think that's totally okay. I think you should focus on just venting for the next maybe couple of weeks. And vent to some friends or whatever. Maybe write him or write what you'd want to say to him without, that whole like write a letter but don't send it kind of thing. If you can send it if you want, it won't do anything.
Right. And that was part of my question.
You just need to get it out. You just have a lot of built up frustrations, and again, that come from a combination of his choices and the things that you allowed to happen. Right. And
that's I guess what I was most upset was more so at myself for allowing him to treat me that way. So
yeah, but don't beat yourself up, like
right.
It happened. Yeah. Like it's not the end of the world. You didn't commit a capital crime. So like it doesn't do you any good in being self-indulgent and be like, you're the worst person ever to yourself. Like, yeah, you made a mistake, and now you can learn from it.
Right.
And so next time you start liking a guy and you think he likes you back, and then the moment you start feeling a little bit confused about what he likes or doesn't like about you, I did this like TikTok the other day about like, if a guy doesn't plan a date, then he's not excited. And, everyone was like, oh, totally. And, it's weird because I think sometimes even kind of misunderstand what I meant. I'm just simply saying he's not excited. And quite honestly, on a first date in this climate, when people are meeting on dating apps and know very little about each other, there's a lot of reasons not to be excited about each other. You're just trying to get to know each other. I'm just letting you guys know when he might be excited. At some point when you are dating someone, like people call and ask all the time, like, how do I know if a guy likes me? How do I know if he's interested? How do I know like what is in, like, who knows? But like what you can't start at, like there's so many like iterations of their interest level, but it's pretty clear and easy to find out if someone is excited about you. And so focus more on their excitement level in you, and until you know if they're excited, you should just be focused on like getting to know them. Like all this energy, if you're wondering how they think about you, then they're not excited about you. Right. And if they're not excited about you, then you should be very careful about how much energy you're investing into them. And don't fall trap to investing more energy because you recognize or feel their lack of excitement about you as a reason to do more in the relationship. Like, no, it's a reason to take a step back and say, well, I don't know how he feels about me, but I know he's not excited. And therefore, am I okay with that? Do I really want to put more effort into this knowing he is not excited?
Right. And I've also realized that too this last time, because I put way more. I didn't match his effort. I surpassed it by long shots. And it's like I should have just held back and, matched it, and then, kind of just let it end when it should have, which is probably when we decided to get into a relationship. Yeah. So,
and there's a good bet, even though you recognize they might not be excited, that you still don't have enough information about them to be excited about them. So that's another thing you have to like measure. But sometimes we make the mistake of then feeling their lack of excitement as a way that we should then make them excited about us. And we turn off like the questions we should be asking, and we just focus on hoping they get excited about us,
Yeah.
So
another question, I guess, is, I don't remember if I've heard this in another podcast or not, but just because I didn't get, I guess, the closure that I probably wanted from this situationship, and I know, venting it out and getting it all out of my system will help with that closure, and like remembering everything, or like writing down all the stuff that I didn't like that I wanted it to be a part of the relationship. Like, what else would you recommend with getting or letting go and getting closure?
Well, then getting your anger out and frustrations out, you're a lot closer than you realize, because as you now know, and you probably already knew this, like a lot of this had to do with your own choices.
Right.
You weren't even you call it a situationship. What exactly do you want him to say that's going to make you feel better? I mean, honestly, even a sincere apology is probably going to, in some ways, even make you angry. You know, why are you saying this now? There's truly nothing he can say and do to make you feel better. I mean, an apology might be helpful because, like, you know, it's just always nice to hear a sincere apology, especially if someone hurts you and he hurt you. But there's so many other things that you can focus on, the things that you did and learn from. And closure. Closure is just accepting that this situationship, as you call it, wasn't the right fit for you. That's all you really need to get to for closure, is just accepting that reality. And I feel like we're already there.
Yeah. And I think it's just me teetering, you know, going through and be like, oh, but this was so great. But honestly,
you just got to get your anger out. Yeah. You just.
Yeah. But literally, if someone asked me, well, what did you like about him so much? I honestly always say it's just what I expected us to be and what I expected it, you know, what I played out in my head, which I really have to get a hold of because it's just bullshit. Like, I shouldn't be coming up with these ideas of what this person is when they haven't even shown me who they are. Yeah.
Your closure in this situation will come when you accept and realize that him making you feel less than is not an accurate reflection of your self-worth and who you are.
Yeah.
And that's 100% on you realizing that. And there's, again, nothing he can say or do to help you get there. You're like, you have all the tools you need to come to that realization.
Yeah, without anything from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just, you know, it's allow yourself to have your good days and bad days. When you have your bad days and you find your mind going down a rabbit hole and obsessing over him or thinking about like and wanting his validation and wanting his apologies, you have to literally stop yourself. You know, people don't we don't give ourselves enough credit to like have the mental toughness to say stop. You can't help where your mind goes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna wander off, but you do have the mental strength to say, I'm doing it. All right. Actively think of something else. Choose to stop thinking about it. And you'll go back there. You'll naturally go back there, but you can stop yourself. You can. So you think about whatever, you know, the game on tonight or whatever show or something about a friend or, you know, find other drama. You just got to stop going down there, and eventually you'll find yourself doing that less and less. But until then, you have to recognize you're going to do it and then literally say, stop it. And
I've been doing that for a while now.
Great.
But it works. I mean, it works, and I know I have to go through that process. So I just
give yourself
some
time.
Frustrated. Yeah, I get frustrated with myself because it's like, stop. You're like, you're wasting your time, but I know I need to do it anyway.
Yeah. So do you get therapy?
I haven't yet, but I've been really thinking about it.
Yeah. And again, like, this is not like, oh, I need like therapy. Like it's literally the same as being like, I want to sign up for a gym class, or I want to like, it's just something to help, you know, you can start therapy. You can do it like a couple sessions, get what you need out of it and stop it and pause button. You can find that like joining a gym could be like, I just want to do this a couple times a week because it makes me feel like a little detox from some of the shit. So, you know, you could try that too. That might be helpful.
Well, and now that I'm on my work's health insurance plan, I'm like more gung-ho about it because I don't have to necessarily pay out of pocket depending on it. So
worth a shot, you know, just try it out.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I've heard good things about it, and you know, probably once 2021 started, because after the pandemic and stuff and work was super stressful, and I just changed jobs, which is nice because new job, out of a toxic relationship, it's like a whole new me.
There you go. Focus on this job. You know, that's the thing. Right. You know, you having this ability to obsess over things. Now obsess over things that are more productive or that like, you know, are adding value to your life. So yeah. And again, like therapy can help you as like an overthinker and things like that.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, best of luck. You're going to be great.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
Erica.
How can I help?
Hi. So basically, I've been hooking up with the same guy for the last 3 years, on and off. And
That's a long time.
he's told, yeah, I know. He's been telling mutual friends that he thinks I'm so nice and I'm so pretty and all this stuff like that. When we hook up, we have a good time. We hang out after for a few hours, sit there, talk about life, laugh. It's fun, but we've never really gone on a date or anything like that. And he has yet to ask or talk to me about anything like that. And I'm basically just wondering how it's possible to hook up with somebody for so long and not gain some sort of feeling or want to go out on a date or anything more like that.
How old is he?
And if I'm basically, he's 31. And I feel like I'm basically wasting my time. But at the same time, it's not really like I'm waiting. So I'm not sure.
Well, you're still wasting your time. You're definitely wasting your time because you are waiting, and to some level, and then maybe you've gone on a couple other dates, but your energy and focus is on this guy. And you, even if you have been dating, everything you're doing is comparing him to this other guy and et cetera, et cetera. Trying to figure out, like, how is it possible that he can do that? I don't know. He's a guy. I don't know. You're giving him free sex without expectations. So, like, he gets laid and he doesn't have to go to a Thanksgiving that's not people he doesn't know, or, you know, like, I'd rather go to my family's Thanksgiving than someone else and, like, meet someone's aunt and uncle. And, like, yeah, maybe you get lucky and their family is great, but, like, sometimes that can be awkward, especially the first couple times. And then you're like, oh, you have to, you know, I'm not going to be with you guys this. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's free sex, you know, and you seem super nice and chill about it. And you are nice and pretty. And he is absolutely benefiting from your niceness and prettiness to, like, and he's most certainly had sex with other people in the past 3 years. And when, you know, his roster gets dried up and things get a little slow, you know, have there been periods in these 3 years where you have more sex and then and all of a sudden you have less sex, or is it the sex been constant?
It's been constant. There's been a few times where I get annoyed, so I just kind of like step away and I'll not respond or like be busy and not, or I'll get like, yeah, just annoyed and stop answering him. But then I always find myself going back.
Yeah. So a better question of like trying to figure out why he's doing what he's doing. I'm curious as to why you're doing what you're doing.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's hard for me to meet. I mean, I go all the time with my friends. I'm always out at bars and stuff like that. I try to meet people, but it's just like I live in a small area with people that I know, and everybody knows everybody. Everyone's hooked up with everybody. So I feel like I would almost rather recycle than try to find somebody new and hook up with someone new for a little period of time and then be ghosted or something like that. So
okay, well, that's honest. Yeah, so you've chosen comfort over happiness.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a sustainable way to make sure you're happy in the long run.
Right.
But it avoids like discomfort, you know, and feeling.
Yeah.
It avoids things like loneliness and boredom, and that is nice at times. So yeah, listen, it's pretty simple. Like, if he's never going to change unless you change.
Right.
So, and that would require you to be like, hey, you're welcome for the 3 years of free sex without expectation. No longer available. We've raised our prices, and you know, we've gotten rid of the lifetime guarantee, you know, whatever you want to say. And if you like them and want to date them, you, as we've said before, you say that, I like you, I want to date you, I even have feelings for you. You don't ask if he has, like, if he has feelings for you, he'll let him know. You don't be like, do you have feelings for me? Like, he'll let you know. You don't have to ask. It's a weird thing to have someone tell you they have feelings for you and not respond. So just tell him how you feel. And short of him being like, you're right, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, I have the same feelings for you. And then if he does say that, then you're like, great, well, I also have some more expectations of what that means to me. Stop being so chill. Stop being afraid of him leaving. When he doesn't say that, because he's most likely not going to, because he's just assuming that you'll just be annoyed and get over it, and he's going to try to, it's a game of attrition, right? He's just going to try to wear you out. It's a game of chicken, so to speak, right? At some point, he will realize, if you are able to follow through with this, that you're not fucking around anymore.
Right.
You don't reach out to him. You don't call him. And you call me and say, look, again, we raised our prices. Our value has gone out. It's available to, you know, I'm confident someone will pay these prices. You know, fine. You can't afford me. You're low budget. we're an upscale brand, and you're just chill as fuck. And maybe he will find the funds and be like, you know what, I've been, been saving up, and I want this, and you make sure he really commits and really and shows that he want, and give him one more shot maybe. Other than that, you're gonna have to be okay with feeling lonely, being uncomfortable, getting on the dating apps, driving to the biggest city near you. I don't know, like you have options, I'm sure. And just because you don't live in New York or Chicago or a big city, like there are other people out there, and this is going nowhere fast.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's what you should do. And stop wondering and trying to figure out him. You should figure out yourself, because you can't control him, but you can control you. And you have completely given up all your power and decision-making skills, and you've resorted to being annoyed.
Right.
And the arsenal of weapons you can use to invoke your power, that's like the equivalent of a BB gun. It's kind of annoying for you to be annoyed at him, for him. It's like getting shot with a BB gun. It's like, that's annoying. Stop. So you kind of annoy him when you get annoyed, and he just, goes out and waits for you to be less annoyed and comes back.
Right. So I shouldn't ask him. Should I just cut it off?
Yep.
Should I not ask, not tell him?
You cut it off.
Just stop.
You stop his calls. When he says, hey, what happened? You said, oh, sorry. Should have let you know. It's been 3 years, bro. What do you think? I mean, come on. You're welcome. You're welcome for the free sex and no expectation. And again, then that's when you say, I do like you. And by all means, if you want to commit to this and be my boyfriend, I like you. I'm down. Let's do it. I'm ready. He probably will, again, just call your bluff, and he's going to think it's a bluff because it's been a bluff so far. Okay. And then when he, calls your bluff, you just leave. And then if he comes begging back, then you can maybe give him one more shot. But I wouldn't give him.
You wouldn't give him one more shot.
Oh, I mean, that's only I have very low. You doing this is to get it out of your system, but he might, it's possible. But either way, you should. Where's this going?
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
It's just you just got to be okay with some discomfort.
Yeah, that's true.
How comfortable has your comfort been? You know what I'm saying?
Pretty comfortable.
Has it though?
With him.
But there haven't been days of being confused and annoyed and frustrated. Is that comfortable?
There's been more days of that.
Yeah, that's not comfortable.
Than anything. No, it's not.
So again, how comfortable has your comfort been?
I guess not that comfortable.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're gonna be great.
Thanks.
Bye. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Presley Johnson. I'm from Scottsboro, Alabama.
And how old are you?
I am 23.
And who's your friend?
My roommate and friend.
Yeah, I got this, Presley. I'm the moral support.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm here to make sure she gives all the details.
Okay. What's your name?
I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. How old are you?
I'm 23.
All right. And Presley, how can I help?
Well, I don't know if Jordan, in the email went into detail of what is kind of going on, but I have 3 men interested in me and or I am messing around with. I'm not messing around with all 3, but I was sleeping with one. I have a crush on one, and then the other one likes me. But the kicker is 2 of them are my neighbors.
Okay.
And when I mean neighbors, like right beside me. And then the other one is right beside the other one.
Okay. So explain to me why the guy who likes you matters.
He doesn't really, I just don't really know how to let him know that I just kind of want to be friends, other than just being like, I want to be friends, but then we're not going to be able to be friends because he's already expressed how he feels about me.
Do you need him to be friends?
No. I mean, I enjoy talking to him. He's nice. Yeah. He is a friend before, you know, so like that's all it kind of is. But, like it was just a friendship cordially.
Yeah. And if he's able to get on board with the fact that you just want to be friends, then you can be friends, but you recognize that he might not be able to do that. So that's all right, problem solved.
Let it go. All right, awesome.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
now we're down to 2. All right.
Yeah, we're down to the 2.
And you're having sex with one?
Yes. Recently in the last few weeks.
Okay. And you're crushing on another?
Yeah.
Are they friends?
Oof.
I mean, I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
Neighbors.
They're neighbors.
Friendly neighbors.
So, I mean, they're neighbors.
I don't talk to my neighbors.
So they know each other.
I mean, so
that's a small town.
Well, this is the thing. We all used to kind of work together, and then like one of them left and went to another workplace. So it was just the one that I have a crush on and me working together and have been, and now. Go ahead.
Let's focus on the one you slept with. Is it the first time you hooked up with him?
No, that wasn't the first time I hooked up with him.
But you don't like him like that.
I did.
All right, but he's turned into a convenient lay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Essentially. No, like I'm literally only just using him for sex. Like genuinely in my mind, that's how it is at this point.
Well, great. So now
I think
you got that answer.
Yeah, no, like it is, but
does he know that?
I think he thinks. I mean, I've said that, but I think he thinks I'm just trying to be. Yeah, no, like how he comes about it when I say that, like it's just sex. He's like, he thinks I'm just trying to be tough, and I'm like, no, like genuinely, that's how I feel, and I don't think he believes that.
So.
And that's what gets me.
What do you mean it gets you?
Like I don't understand why he thinks like I would lie about that. You know.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know why he's not here for me to ask. But the important part is that you know you're not into him, and you think he might be into you, and even though you've tried to communicate this with him, for whatever reason, he's not hearing you. So, regardless of the fact that you're crushing on someone else, you should stop having sex with a guy you know likes you, but you don't like him. The fact that you do have a crush on someone else, let alone that it's another neighbor of yours, is all that more of a reason to stop having sex with someone, since you are already interested in pursuing someone else.
Yes.
That's basically
Go ahead, Jordan.
How it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me, just like seeing it from the outsider's perspective, it's like, I think she feels more vulnerable with the guy that she likes. And so she doesn't want to put herself out there to do those things with that guy because the other one is so convenient and there's no chance of like getting hurt from that because she's in control of the situation with the other guy.
Yeah, but there's definitely a chance you get hurt because you're in control now. And for all you know, this guy could stop liking you or making you feel liked. More importantly, he could hook up with someone else and you have no idea how you're going to be affected by that. Your ego could take over and be like, fuck this, and then all of a sudden you can go down a rabbit hole. Either way, I think you got to deal with these problems individually, like I said. So we dealt with the guy who likes you, and it's like it's not even a problem. Like you talk about this as if like they come as a package, you know, like it's this one guy who likes you don't like. Great, done. You don't like him. It's not your problem anymore. There's another guy you're having sex with that you also don't like all that much. And if he was on the same page as you when you communicated with, like, hey, this is the hookup, then yeah, maybe you could continue hooking up with someone out of convenience because you guys have made it clear you're on the same page. Now that could change at any moment, but he didn't. He's let you know. We don't know why, but you do know that you guys aren't on the same page. Like, he's not hearing you. And you don't have to figure out why he's not hearing you. You just need to know that he's not hearing you. And the fact that he's not hearing you tells you you're not on the same page. And it's dangerous territory to keep having sex with someone who you're not on the same page with, guy or girl. Eventually, it's going to turn into a mess. And then you have the third guy who you like for whatever reason, And so if you like him, you should go for it. And you might get disappointed. Now, if you do get disappointed, it's not an excuse to go back to having sex with the guy that you don't like because it's convenient. Because again, he likes you and you're not on the same page. You're not having sex with him because you like someone else. You're not having sex with him because you're not on the same page. And that's just a fucking mess. And you've probably been on the receiving end of having sex with a guy who you like, who doesn't like you back, who keeps having sex with you because, and that's shitty. We know, like that.
Yeah.
So this is not one big problem. These are just 3 isolated situations, most of which seem pretty clear and easy to solve. Now, how do we get the guy you like to like you back? And the fact that they're all neighbors is just an inconvenientness. But it is what it is. It's potential drama that will only be drama if you make it drama.
No, yeah, 100%.
I like that.
Yes.
But I feel Presley has actually talked to the guy that she likes. They've had conversations about liking each other, but both of them have had very bad past relationships. And so they keep saying that they don't want to ruin what they have. And that confuses me.
Well, I mean, I don't know about him, but no offense, Presley, you're making a lot of choices that I wouldn't want to start a relationship with you if you were making. Again, having sex with someone you don't like. No. So clean your house, so to speak. Get your shit together. And then if you still like him, listen, also you like this guy. You don't have anything with this guy. Just you don't have anything with the first guy. These aren't your pals. Your pals on the phone with you. And if you have a platonic guy friend, then great. But once you start to realize that you want more with this platonic friend, it ceases to be a platonic friend. And there's plenty of guys who you can be pretend friends with, right? I mean,
yeah.
So, yeah, there's nothing to worry about ruining. It might be something people say because they feel bad because they don't like you.
Yeah, I mean that's fine too. But
he likes her. He definitely likes her.
And well, be careful. The list is long of girlfriends who have been like, he likes you, girl, and he definitely didn't like you. No offense.
I know that.
It's a
long. I'm also friends with him.
It's a long fucking line.
I went to school with him.
No, I mean we've had a conversation recently, honestly, within the past couple of days for this.
I want you to be right. So this is real simple. You are very clear with the guy who likes you, don't like you. We can be friends, up to you. I'm fine either way. The guy you're sleeping with, hey, sorry, we're no longer having sex. So now you really know it was about sex. Over. And then when that's all fixed, then you go to this other guy and be like, hey, so we like each other. Let's go on a date. And if he likes you, like you guys are so convinced that he does, he will say yes. And then you'll go on a date.
They go on dates. They hang out.
You guys are really making very simple things complicated.
Yeah,
no, 100%.
That's his friend here in our lives.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. But I think it's more like me and the guy that I do like. I feel like because of the situations with us working together, also being neighbors, and just everything that our past we've been through comes into play, and we enjoy each other's friendship. We all have the same friends. I don't want to mess that up because that messes up a friendship that I enjoy. And I feel like it's the same for him too. And but because of our past.
What past are you speaking of?
We're just scared. Our exes, I guess.
What about your exes?
Well, his ex is, I don't even really know all about his ex or his situation, but like my ex, we actually lived together in this apartment. It was just like a really bad toxic situation, and it wasn't good for me.
He still lives with you?
No, okay. No. We lived here in this apartment together, though.
And so, like, he knows who he is or something?
God, no. Yeah, like, they all know, like, they know who he is. Okay. And, I mean, it's not even about that, but just what he put me through. It's aware. Like, he's aware of what that was.
It's reasonable to say, I don't know if I really should go for this because he's my neighbor or my coworker, because if it doesn't work out, it'll be really awkward and inconvenient. So that's valid. As far as this quote unquote friendship you're worried about ruining, there's not much of a friendship. Like, you know, like there'll always be some weird sexual tension if you don't go for it.
Well, they've talked about hooking up, and I told her that if you are hanging out and then you start hooking up, that is essentially a relationship, whether you like say it or not. Like, that's basically what it is.
Well,
especially if
it's
he's
something,
cutting off everybody.
It ceases to be a friendship, which is my point. It could be a lot of other things, as we've learned through our callers, but it definitely is not a platonic friendship. You're already not platonic friends. So you seem to be really good at getting yourself in these like random situations and then avoid like these and I don't mean to be hard on you, but these are clear answers, and you're just avoiding making choices in collecting these situations. You know, like you first called them like, I have these 3 guys. You don't have 3 guys. Like, there's these 3 very different situations. The first one's not even a situation. It's just a guy who likes you. There's probably 30 other guys who like you. You know, like, how is that affecting your life? It's not. You know, like, just because someone likes you doesn't mean you have a situation. So there's that. You know, the fact that he's your neighbor.
Yeah.
And then, again, that's pretty clear that you're having sex with someone you don't even like, who doesn't seem to understand that, and it's best to just cut that off, especially the fact that it's stopping you from pursuing things you do like. And the worst case scenario, and it's not even a worst case, that none of these guys are your guy. You start dating people who don't live on your block, and maybe you realize, maybe you're like, I like you, but it is messy, and you do know my ex, and honestly, like, you're hot and cute, and sex might be fun with you, but like, you know, most likely this is going to turn into like a 6 months thing that's going to probably turn toxic and be awkward for years because we're neighbors. So I'll just get back on the dating apps and find someone who lives at least down the street.
Yeah, I didn't really mean for that to happen.
It's fine if it did. And I'm saying, if you want to go for it, because you guys, I'm just saying, like, you guys are convinced you guys like each other. So if you like each other, go for it. But if there's other, you just have to, pros and cons, how much do you like each other? How much is it really worth it? Like you said. So decide whether it is. It's not that complicated.
At what
is this
point,
someone
though,
you like
should
now?
You be like,
but like, are you looking for something to do for the next 6 months? Or are you like looking for someone? Either answer is fine. Like, you're young. Like, you could literally be like, I don't know, I just want someone to like have casual sex with for 6 months.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it's not even casual sex. I don't need the sex. I mean, that's fine.
So what
that's
do you
nice.
want for
It's
yourself?
whatever.
Like, what do you want for yourself in the next 12 months? Like, there's no wrong answer.
I just want to have fun.
Okay.
Like, honestly, just have fun and
There
just
you go.
kind of.
So you just want to have fun. So the fact that you just want to have fun means that none of these guys are for you. Because as you've pointed out, they all come with some drama. And drama, well, you might like drama, so that might be fun. So it
No,
depends on what fun
it's
means
not
for
fun.
you. But if you want, like, if he's just your neighbor and you kind of like him and he kind of likes you, but the fact that like there's so much other built-in mess before you even start, that's not fun. That's potential drama. And since you're not looking for like a husband, it doesn't really matter if you like him and he likes you. You're just looking for a good time, and you can probably find a good time with a few other people who don't live on your street. And if you want to have a casual hookup, that's great, but make sure you two are on the same page, of which the second guy is not. So if you just want to have fun, totally cool, reasonable. In fact, I would recommend it for you. Like, so great. So go do things that are fun and not filled with potential drama and confusion,
Yeah.
You could literally have fun with so many people. So go have fun with them.
Yeah. 100%.
You're definitely going to sleep with the other guy at some point, is my guess.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm really not. No, I'm not. I literally just told him we hooked up like about 3 weeks ago, maybe. But the thing is, I hadn't slept with him in a long time because he had been sleeping with a bunch of other people that I felt was kind of like gross, in a sense. And I mean, everybody has a past and whatnot, and I'm not judging, but it kind of freaked me out. And I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And then, a lonely night of drinking, and it just, happened to come up. We had, messaged or whatever. And then that happened. And then I haven't spoke to him since. I mean, obviously I have because we're neighbors, but I haven't really dealt with that since. So it's like just kind of when I needed it, I guess. I mean, I had feelings for him not really feelings, but I was like, maybe. And then drama came and I was like, I don't want to have to deal with that. So that's just where we're at on that. Okay. We don't want to deal with the drama.
I think you should eliminate all of these guys as far as people you have fun with and treat them as neighbors. I mean, to be honest, the guy you're sleeping with, you don't like, you should just cut him off and let him do his own thing. And you can easily not see I literally have no idea what all my neighbors are doing. So I think you can manage.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy you like, who you think might like you, stop telling her she likes you. She is going to not indulge in this fantasy because she wants to have fun, and this is going to most likely turn into drama because it's got too many other things. And if you change your mind, great, but just be honest with yourself about what you're trying to get out of it.
No, 100%.
So, like, if he calls her and
Who's he?
He asks to hang out. I'm sorry. The guy that she likes. And he asks to hang out. She's gonna go, and then it's gonna eventually
do you not have self-control?
Well, we're all friends, so we would all hang out typically, regardless of them like starting to lie.
We hang out all together once a week at least.
Okay,
like
and like you said, you claim to be friendly with him. Like you've been not able to not have sex with him this long.
Yeah, and we work together, so I see him every day.
There you go. I mean, life's full of choices, and you just have to choose to not do it. And like you said, you just want to have fun. You're not like, I'm in love with him. You're just like, I like him. He's just like next on the menu. No offense. He's like some guy you could easily not like in 2 months. And again, I'm only this based on what you said to me. You're in the, I just want to have fun stage of your life. Awesome. Go have fun,
Yeah.
And there's other guys in your community that you can have fun with that aren't your neighbors, that you don't work with every day.
I know.
That aren't going to turn into really awkward, unfun situations if it doesn't work out.
100%.
This is some guy you're crushing on.
Essentially.
Yeah. And most of our crushes don't turn into our husbands or wives.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. 100%.
So.
But yeah, that's just kind of what it is.
One day you wake up and go, I want to marry him, or I think I might, then go for it. Then date him.
I mean, I wouldn't say marry right now in my life because I don't want to get married like young. So that's just why I'm like, dating somebody for a long time like that, I guess could be an option, but like just getting married young is not an ideal thing to me. So that's why just having fun, I guess, is just a thing. I mean, I just work and
then stop dating your neighbors.
Alrighty.
All right.
100%.
All right. Well, best of luck.
I agree.
I think we figured it out. Yeah.
I think the hard truth, Pesley.
Yeah. No, I mean 100%. I needed to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
but she's waited to talk to you for so much clarity.
Well, I'm glad I could help. In the future, stop. I think you like drama a lot more than you realize.
I really don't.
No, yeah,
I really don't.
Your actions say otherwise. These are all dramatic situations of which there are clear answers to, which you're smart enough to figure out. I know you're not a dummy.
No.
And while I love that you called and asked me your question, the reality is you could have figured this out on your own. But
I know
you enjoyed the drama.
It was honestly, it was literally, we were just listening to your podcast one day. I was like, ha, ha, ha.
But don't discount it. But like, nevertheless, if you didn't call me in, you'd still be wondering these things. The point is, I think you enjoy the drama more than you like to admit.
Oh God.
That's okay. We all enjoy drama. It's stimulation. But, like, you can figure these things out and don't get caught up. Because it is stopping you from having the fun that you say you want. And then it's, not really getting you anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bunch of messy situations.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, ladies.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, amazing episode, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castme.com, cast with a K. Send in your 5 to 15 second videos of saying what you learned from this show or what you didn't learn or why you listened to us. Post it on social or DM us at Viall Files on Instagram or on TikTok, and we'll probably reshare it. And thanks for supporting the show. Tell your friends. And talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Tuesday Bachelor recaps and Wednesday celebrity and expert interviews. See you next time.